Lifelong Learning, A Taste of Pillar 2 are short presentations taught by PILLAR instructors in partnership with the Pikes Peak Library District. This program is made possible as the result of a grant from Next 50 Initiative, a nonprofit organization dedicated to funding innovative, mission-driven initiatives that improve the lives of older adults and their caregivers.
Well, I am Melody Wilson, and this is a class on genealogy. It's designed to start at the beginner level, but we'll cover a few topics of interest and go a little deeper. These are the things we'll discuss today. I think you should examine your goals for starting to collect your family information, and that way it will help you make your decisions as you go along. You'll collect your initial family information, just everything you know. There's no minimum except your name, your birthday, and your location. You should be able to come up with that, hopefully. And then you choose a location for your tree, whether it's on the internet or on your PC. Consider DNA tests. I have found them very helpful. We'll go into that. And then you start your tree. And I've included a data sheet with this presentation that has many links that are talked about in the slide presentation. And when you see a big asterisk, that will let you know that there's a link on the data sheet. And then the last step is to create a GEDCOM file, and that will serve as a backup. You can also upload those to your software online or to your software on your computer. So your goals will guide your decisions. A lot of people, including me, document family for future generations. As we know, things change when people pass. Stories and photos are lost, and I have a whole box of slides with people in fur coats post World War II, and I don't know who they are. So the quicker you start, the better off you are. So, because people who know who those people are still alive. So schools are now making an assignment to do some basic ancestry. So it really helps to generate interest in history and geography. I really enjoy helping adoptees find their relatives. It's very rewarding. I always welcome them into my family, and I know that they can suffer a lot of rejection from other family members. They've shared that with me, and it's very sad. So, Ancestry Super Bowl ads. Wow, they've been doing it for years. Ancestry has sold over 8 million DNA kits. That's as of this year. I find that incredible. I enjoy contributing to the World Database through Ancestry.com, which is the software that I chose. People I had someone from New Zealand contact me. She was a DNA relative of my husband. I had someone from England contact me. She was a DNA relative, also of my husband. She was a descendant of Oliver Cromwell, and noticed I had created a tree starring Oliver Cromwell. And when I compared her DNA to my husband's DNA, it didn't match. So that was just a rumor that his family has been perpetrating for decades. So you get to solve mysteries. That's one of the fun things that we do. Ancestry.com will actually host vacations to where your ancestors came from. If you want to take cruises, they also let you tour the repositories for ancestral information in the country where your relatives are. It's, when funds are unlimited, you can take advantage of that. Or you can drive to your home state and visit the library and see what they have, or maybe the cemetery. So my aunt always wanted to be a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. She could not prove that her ancestors had fought in the American Revolution, but I have. Unfortunately, she passed before I could prove it. But it's very exciting when you find ancestors of members of the sons or daughters in the American Revolution, because they are required to document their ancestry very carefully. And a lot of them have done it on Ancestry.com. So you get the benefit of their research. It will enhance family relationships. I have become the family historian. You can also become your family historian. There are gifts that you can create with Ancestry, books, maps, trees. You can also meet family you didn't know. I went to Ohio and met with my father's relatives. I didn't know that they existed. When they met me, they said, "Oh, you look just like your grandmother, my father's mother." I did not know that. My cousin used to say, "We thought the postman was fooling around and was your dad because you didn't look like anybody else." So yes, that solved that mystery. I've also started a free private Facebook page for my family, and this is them. Our red convertible was a family legend, and this is my mother and my grandmother and grandfather, and my father was taking the picture, and they've all passed, but right now it's my homepage on my Facebook page. One of your beginning steps is collect your family information. And the things you need are full names, maiden names for women. If you have date and place of birth, that's great. Date and place of death, date and place of marriage, parents, spouses, siblings, children, everything you know. Get ready to put it into your tree. So you can ask if somebody already has a tree. Maybe there's a family cemetery. Those are very convenient. If your family's local, go to the library. We also have Pikes Peak Genealogical Society here in Colorado Springs. They're helpful with classes and, a library. And then if you're adopted, get a DNA test. And if you're interested in associating it with your family tree, Ancestry.com is rated the highest DNA test. So I would highly recommend you do that. This is the homepage for Pikes Peak Genealogical Society, and they announce classes, where they meet, when we're able to meet again. I have listed links to the online resources in the data sheet, and I find it fascinating, and that's why I want to share my hobby with everybody so they can have fun too. Choose a location for your tree. This site I found extremely helpful. The link is in the data sheet. On the right-hand side, it says top genealogy sites. They rate Ancestry.com as #1, and they say why further into the site. You'll notice #9, Family Search, is also on the list, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. And then also at the lower right, A to Z of genealogy sites. We'll talk about that in a later slide too. So #9 is Family Search Organization. It's free. You can search and you can build your tree there. It's owned by the Mormon Church. It's in Granite Mountain Records Vault, Utah. Read the use agreement very carefully because the data you submit becomes theirs. Now, they are a church, and you can probably trust them to not do anything criminal, but you have to keep that in mind, that you'll lose some privacy rights to your data. And I heard a quote the other day that says, if it's free, you are the product. So Ancestry.com is rated #1. You can choose your privacy level there. You can delete them, your results in your trees, and they will disappear from their database. There are billions of records in their database. They give you hints. While you are sleeping, they compare your ancestors to their database, and then they tell you about it the next time you log in. I love that. It feels like I'm cheating. You don't, it's so easy. All right, if you want to contact another member and they show you the member's name when it would be a good idea to contact them, you just click on the link. They don't know what your email address is. The proxy goes through Ancestry.com. And as long as they check their mail in Ancestry.com, they'll know that you sent a message. Also, it does copy, Ancestry.com does copy their regular email. DNA results are matched to thousands of others, and I'll show you in an upcoming slide how many thousands of people are matched to my DNA results. The nice thing is you can look at your DNA matches family trees. That's something that doesn't happen in other sites. So as long as they have said that their family tree is public, they gave it public access, you can look. If it's private, Ancestry will show you their contact and let you click on it and ask for permission. Ancestry.com is a fee for service, and they have 3 levels where you can access the most databases, 6 months for $199. Now, I did notice that AARP members can get a 30% discount on 1 year of World Explorer. So that's a good thing to take advantage of. So if you go to Wikipedia, it will show you an analysis of family tree software, and I used that and located Family Tree Maker. It's compatible with Ancestry.com. It will let you upload, download, synchronize, and combine trees and save them as a GEDCOM file and then upload it to Ancestry.com. Unfortunately, Ancestry.com will not let you combine ancestry.com trees. Things to consider with DNA. Okay, I said this before, read the privacy agreements carefully. Law enforcement, you know, is using DNA to solve crimes. It's been on TV, cold cases are announced in the news, they find, you know, murderers. Usually they're in jail already for something else, but that's good. Sandy, my laptop fan is kicked on. Is it interfering with the audio?
We can hear it a little bit, but let's keep going.
Okay. All right, so family tree DNA test voluntarily provides law enforcement access to the database. So if you do have criminals in your family, you may not want to use family tree DNA. In Canada, DNA results are not as private as they are here for some companies, and it could identify you as having a pre-existing condition. But your genes are not your destiny. You should just change your lifestyle. My Ancestry DNA report I have 21,000 matches to my DNA. There are 1,100 matches that are fourth cousin or closer. Ancestry DNA can show you matches in other people's trees, and they provide a raw report. The regular price is $99. It usually goes on sale around holidays. You'll have to check the site, or it may be advertised on TV, you never know. I have also done the 23andMe DNA report. Currently, they have 1,500 matches to my DNA, which is compared to 21,000 that they've reported to me for Ancestry. 15,000 doesn't seem like very many. They do provide occasional medical reports, but it's based on college students doing surveys. You can hire their company to do your tree. The prices are comparable with Ancestry. All right, so when you start your tree, you look at how you enter your data. You shouldn't use a period after middle initials or junior. This is the preferred date format, 04, 3 letters for the month, and then 4 numbers for the year. This will help you help software search through and find the correct birth dates, death dates. If you use a number for the month, some people put the month first, some people put the month second. It's hard to tell the difference if it's 12 or under. Places should be city, county, state, country, and married female last names. Use Maiden or blank. I have 2 cases in my husband's family tree where their maiden name is the same as their married name. So if you put, in that case, I did put the same name as the maiden name, but that was the exception. The genealogical industry has a proof standard, and these are the 5 elements. I've given you the link on Wikipedia. They also go into more detail on the Pikes Peak Genealogical Society. if you want to know more. Basically, cite your sources, find all the records you can, analyze the data. You will find a lot of conflicting evidence, especially if the names are common. And then if you're producing a report, you want a well-written conclusion. So we're back to the website we saw earlier. There are over 25 genealogy sites listed on the right-hand side of the page. And some of these are free. Some of these have 2-week free trials. And some of them you will have to get a subscription. But it's a good list to start with. All right, GEDCOM files, genealogical data communication files. They are a generic standard format, and you can use this to save your tree as a backup, upload it, or download it. It's good to have a spare. So the summary covers the steps that you use to start your account. So you open an account, choose a site, or install software on your PC. You add your family members. You keep the proof standard in mind, the search additional websites if needed, and save your tree in a GEDCOM file format. I had one slide I think I have 2 minutes left. So I really enjoy assisting adopted people. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. Breaking walls are fun when you can't go any further. You just add more relatives until you find one that points you in the right direction. I already told you about my husband not being related to Oliver Cromwell. And I'm still working on a book for my grandchildren's tree. So that concludes my presentation.